What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the chat. As always, I'm your host, Samara Iman, and today we have a very special episode. But before we get into it, if you enjoyed today's chat, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Alrighty, so a top 100 player in the country, back-to-back Virginia Class 6 state champions, 4-star player, Michigan State basketball commit, 2-time player of the year, coach of the year. Honestly, I could go on, but that is a pretty impressive resume. And these two people joined by me, I mean, they've had two very impressive years back-to-back. So today I'm joined by Jordan Scott and Coach Mike Desmond of South Lakes basketball here in Reston, Virginia. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. So let's start with just reflecting on these past 2 years. I mean, back-to-back state champions. What does that mean to you guys? And honestly, just walk me through like the journey that you guys have had this past 2 years.
Yeah, I think ending it out on 2 state championships for myself was something just really special. Obviously, being on varsity as a freshman and sophomore and coming up short both those years and being so close, just to getting it done twice as a junior and senior with the group of guys that we had was just really something special, just a great send-off. Like.
And I mean, starting as a freshman and sophomore, not too many people in high school can say that.
Yeah,
so
6-man as a freshman, but
okay, 6-man. I mean,
bad coaching.
Come on, coach. All right, same with you, Mike. What did it mean for you, as a coach?
I think it's always humbling, and people have talked to me about it. I say that a lot. It truly was humbling. But the impact that these guys, the last several years, but especially the last 2 had on me personally, I get a lot of awards, but they're not mine. I get them because the kids showed out. And for the Reston community in South Lakes, we were talking before we started about some of the famous alums that have gone here. South Lakes has always been talked about as a blue blood and one of the powerhouses in Virginia. But for 40 years, we didn't have a ring. We didn't have a state title. So to get one last year kind of cemented us, in my opinion, as a blue blood. But to go back to back, last year wasn't a fluke, but to go back to back really does put us in a completely separate category than most schools in Virginia.
Honestly, not just in Virginia, in the entire DMV as well. And so, yeah, Mike mentioned some of the superstars who have played here, and we see the banner over there, Grant Hill. I know you mentioned it a little before, and your mom up there as well. First, both your parents coming here, did you feel, I guess, any pressure, to be a superstar athlete at all? But even, I know you said doing something that Grant Hill never did, which is win a championship, not only, 2 championships now. But did you feel any pressure or anything coming in as a freshman, but also, as you started to see some success, later on?
I don't think it was any pressure because just like growing up, being in the gym and being around everybody, I always kind of knew I was eventually going to be the one playing on the court and not the one watching the stands.
Okay.
But,
I love the confidence.
Yeah, but I think as a freshman, I was a little bit nervous just playing with a bunch of older kids, being a 14-year-old playing against all these 18, 17-year-olds. It was definitely a change in like my basketball style and everything like that. But I think I got the hang of it, especially towards the end of my freshman year. I think I started coming to my own and started playing a little bit better, playing a little bit stronger, smarter. And then from there, I just took leaps over the course of my career.
So what do you both think, like, why was this year's team so successful? Winning back-to-back state championships is very hard. And like you said, last year wasn't a fluke, but what do you think made this year's team so successful that you went on another run?
I mean, it was very tremendous to see this happen because I was not a believer in this group going into the season. And I'm not telling I'm not
Jordan's like, oh, okay.
I'm not telling any secrets. We had lost 11 guys off the previous team. And we then took guys.
You said 11?
11 guys.
Wow.
So then we took guys who were, call them role players or even minute stealers. Hey, guy, I need you to start and play 25 minutes a game.
Yeah.
So you saw this advance in the expectation of individuals that had to step up. So what kind of made the year special was just watching those kids kind of overcome, but kind of what stood out to me or how it happened in my opinion, we needed a loss. We needed a loss late in the year, and we lost in a district finals, and we haven't done that we won the previous 4 years in a row. So Granted, there's only 6 games left after that. Having that loss late in the year, in my opinion, got some of the guys to completely buy in that hadn't bought in all year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've been spoiled with winning here. And while we were successful last year throughout the regular season, we had a murderer. You know, we had another junior kid named Eric Rillstone who had great play throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
And we had guys contribute, but they weren't always bought in.
Okay.
So we have this loss, and all of a sudden they come to practice because the group of seniors have never seen a district title not won.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of a gut check.
It was the first time. Oh my God, we can actually lose in our district.
Mm-hmm.
So that got them involved, and then there was some extra curricular noise from some grown people from the other team, and we've never discussed this, but I believe it woke him up even more.
Mm-hmm.
And Jordan, his whole career, very stoic, but when you make him mad and he takes something, it can be the smallest thing, he takes it personal. I've only seen him take things personal maybe 3 times in 4 years. But when you heard the things that these grown-ups were saying, and not about me or the team, about our individual players, him and his teammates.
About a kid.
About a child.
Grown adults.
Yeah, grown adults. The monster came out, and then we were lucky enough to run into that team a week later and beat their ass. And Jordan gave them a cool 35 or something.
Okay.
So for us, I think getting it done last year, it required some things not in our control. And those negatives became positives for us, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
I agree. Definitely agree.
Besides like that extracurricular noise, were there any challenges that you guys saw this year that you didn't necessarily see last year? I know you mentioned, you know, losing most of your team, but on the run, you know, I think I saw that you were sick or something when
I did not have the best health year.
Okay.
No, I was sick a couple times.
So I'm sure that was probably a challenge, you know, being away from the team, you know, not being in your, you know, that your normal routine.
I mean, I think we have a great assistant coaches. Damon Johnson did a heck of a job stepping up for me, but we have a 4-year guy. So we have a 4-year winner who can lead them when I'm not around. We had a couple 3-year guys in this group, or at least one 3-year guy. So, well, maybe that was a little different at times. While I was away, I did not ever worry or fear that Damon wasn't going to coach him well and Jordan wasn't going to lead. Jordan is a winner. So being sick was terrible for me personally, but for the team, some of those guys probably were glad I was gone. So, yeah.
How about you? Were you a little happy that Coach had a little bit of a break?
Happy, but we did. This could have just been a coincidence, but we did play like two of our best games when he was sick.
Okay.
True.
Definitely probably a
All
coincidence.
right. Shout out to your assistant coach then. So Jordan, how did you approach this final season, being that, you know, you lost so many players from last season? How did you go in, just say, you know, I'm going to take over this team, be a leader, and hopefully get us to, you know, another state championship?
Yeah. Well, my junior year, we had 9 seniors, and we were very senior heavy that year. And after all those guys were gone, we looked at what we had left. We had a few guys left that were on the team before. 2 of those guys left again. So we lose 11 returners, or we lose 11 people from the team before. So I just knew that being the senior and being like the only guy that would have been here for all 4 years, I would have to use my voice and teach all these young kids. Since we took, I think, 2 freshmen and like 3 or 4 sophomores this year.
2 freshmen, 3 sophomores. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were very young this year. So a lot of these guys didn't even play basketball the year before too.
Oh wow! Like not at all.
Or not a lot of them, but some of them, or didn't get many minutes on like freshman or JV. But they made leaps in the off season. But
I thought you meant like that was their first year playing basketball. For a second, I'm like,
no, they
whoa.
definitely touched the basketball before.
Okay.
But, just like
you couldn't tell though.
Just like getting integrated into like the varsity system and how like things operate at the varsity level.
Okay. So, being that it was your final season and you had already, you know, locked in your commitment to Michigan State, how did you, you know, keep that drive to, you know, win another state championship? Because I feel like it also maybe speaks to your maturity, because not a lot of high school players would lock in and be like, okay, I need to be the leader of this team. I need to, you know, be there for the rest of this team, because I'm not going to be here next year, but they will. So how did you approach it knowing you were already going to Michigan State and that was locked in?
Yeah, I think it's just a part of my competitiveness, just not wanting to lose and not wanting to end my career on a loss. and wanting to take it all the way. We did it before, we could do it again, and we definitely did that.
Mm-hmm. And is there anything that you said to him kind of before the season, or maybe when he made that commitment, just to, maybe check in with him after that to see, where his head was?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Jordan, his whole process through the recruiting, which was crazy. It was crazy from the beginning of going into his sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
He never showed any nerves. And his mother said he was a duck on the pond, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Looked very calm up top, but underneath was going crazy. So I just assumed, and then we had a small talk about it, but great, it's over. Cool, now just go play. Yeah. Just relax and play. You don't have to worry about, this coach, that coach, this expectation. Anytime he missed a shot, even a warm-ups, overrated, all that jazz.
Of course.
Right. So, I mean, I think all we just said is cool. It's over. Just now you can just relax and play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And your future teammate, you were mentioning Cam before.
Mm-hmm.
You guys played against each other this season, correct?
Yeah.
So what was that like, knowing that you guys are going to be on the same team next year? Was there any thought in your head like, okay, I need to win this this matchup?
100%. Going into we knew whoever won was going to have all the bragging rights, and sadly our team took the L that game, lost by 1.
It had to be by 1.
Yeah.
Bad coaching.
Missed the shot at the buzzer, but it was a cool environment. We got to play on TV with a lot of cameras around. My mom actually got to call the game.
Oh, nice.
That we were playing, so it was pretty cool too.
Wow, that must have been a very special moment for your family. And knowing that, I don't know how far Cam's school is from here, but knowing that, both of you guys are coming from Virginia to Michigan State, when you're getting recruited by Coach Izzo, was there any mention of like the rivalry and both of you guys coming to Michigan State?
Not really. We were supposed to play each other last year, but that got canceled due to snow. But
okay.
They definitely, one of the Michigan State assistants was there at the game. Coach Thomas Kelly actually fell down and he helped me up. He was right there on the sideline. But
Cam fouled him.
Yeah. Refs didn't call it, but yeah. But
always a refs.
Yeah, but he was there and he was obviously cheering for both of us, wanting us to both play well, and to whatever the outcome was, he just wanted us to play well.
Nice. I think that's very cool, because not a lot of people can say they got to play against one of their teammates in high school and their future assistant coach was at the game. Their mom was calling that game. So I'm sure that was very special, not only for you guys, but just for your family, for the team, and I'm sure for Cam and his family too.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Looking back on your junior year to your senior year, what do you think was your biggest area of growth?
I would just say being able to take over a game. I think a little bit more, being more aggressive with the ball, because obviously there was a lot more experience on the team last year. So just being able to set up my own shot by myself, I think was definitely a huge step that I took.
What do you think was his biggest area of growth?
He became a leader, verbally. He kind of mentioned the group his junior year was super loaded. We were very, very talented. And probably the biggest knock on Jordan's game, and he knows probably what I'm going to say because I yell at him all the time, he didn't shoot enough. He didn't shoot enough. And one of the great things about Jordan, and this is where I always thought no matter where he ended up in college, he'd be successful. He can affect the game, shooting the ball 6-8 times, scoring in double digits in the teens, and allowing other guys to touch the ball. So he needed to step up this year, and he kind of knew that having the games where I score 20 but I only shoot the ball 10 times and I'm really kind to my teammates and pass a bunch, that wasn't going to fly if we were going to be successful in big games this year. So yeah, he's 100%. His ability and the ability was always there. His willingness to be less of a team player when we needed him to be selfish.
You said that a lot better than I did.
Honestly, I'm shocked by you saying that he didn't shoot enough, because I was watching before we came here, I was watching some of your highlights on YouTube with Virginia Elite.
He shot a lot with them. He just wouldn't shoot with us.
I was watching and I'm like, it was just like back-to-back threes. So when you said that, I'm like, Jordan not shooting, because that's all I saw. Actually mentioning Virginia Elite, and you played on the Under Armour circuit, correct?
Yes.
What was that experience like? Because obviously I played AU as well in high school. Like high school basketball and AU basketball are very different, but I feel like it seems like Virginia is very competitive when it comes to high school basketball. So what was the biggest difference from your AAU game to maybe having to switch things over to high school? Like, what was, some of the things that were a little different?
I would say just like a different pace of game, pace of play, and obviously you're playing with different people.
Yeah.
Like for AAU, you're playing with like the top talent of the area and stuff like that. Like people on that team are playing in college at the Division I level, and you can't really say that for the high school teams that you're playing with.
Yeah.
And I think just like the play style is a little bit different. Like obviously it's a shot clock for AAU, not a shot clock for high school. I think AAU is a little bit more free. Like there's less sets. It's more just like playing just to like win.
Yeah.
And I think here it's a little bit more structured for high school.
And I'm sure it's probably a little different having a bunch of college coaches on the sidelines as well. All right, I want to go back a little bit. So what was your, I guess, upbringing like? What made you start getting started with basketball? I have a feeling that it's probably your parents, knowing that your mom's banner is up there. Yeah. But what was it like starting? What was your basketball journey like when you first started?
Yeah, so I always knew I was going to be playing basketball forever. Like right when I touched the basketball, I just fell in love with it. But my mom coached here.
Okay.
So she would have me as like a toddler, like in her pouch. She would be coaching her practice, like yelling and screaming at him to do.
Did she coach for the girls team?
Yeah, for the girls team here for I think 17 years.
Oh wow! Okay.
Very successful coach.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I think just like
South Lake's legacy.
Yeah,
right.
Like a little bit, yeah.
No, that's like the first was like the first family of South
You're not wrong.
South Lake's basketball. And your dad played basketball too?
Yeah, he played here too. He played with Grant Hill for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, he graduated in '88 from South Lakes.
Big legacy.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a feeling, honestly, I just wanted to ask the question, but I had a feeling, how you were going to get started. But Coach, what was your basketball background like in your upbringing with basketball?
I played a little bit of everything when I was younger. Basketball stuck. I was a decent high school player. Played for a really great coach, Jim Smith, who was at Chantilly. Now he's at Meridian. Went to college, had a cup of coffee in college. College wasn't for me. So I came home after 2 years, and I was sitting in my basement doing absolutely nothing with my life, and Coach Smith reached out, got me into coaching, and I was just fortunate to kind of follow the right people, get put in the right situation, and kind of by luck, I ended up coming over here, survived through some coaching changes, 2 or 3, was able to, my first year as the head coach, coach his oldest brother Jerome, and then I just lucky, blessed to be at South Lakes.
And what made you stay?
Fuzzy, this dude right here.
Okay.
As a kid, I loved basketball, and we all can't play the game forever. Even the greats who go to Michigan State, the ball stops bouncing eventually. So coaching was just a great avenue to stay involved with something that I loved.
And you mentioned Jordan's the reason why you stayed, but when did you first realize, this was not going to be your average high school player?
The jump he made between his freshman and sophomore year was a year too early. Like I thought he was going to be good. I didn't think he was going to be as good as he turned out being. And it happened a lot sooner than I would have anticipated.
How did you handle that with maybe some of your older guys on the team?
Didn't have to. What made to answer your original question, what made me think, man, Jordan's different, Jordan's special, is he's, as a sophomore, playing with juniors and seniors. And some of those guys had big personalities. Some of those guys had a lot of accolades of their own. Before the winter even hit, it was his team as a sophomore. And he didn't talk. He just played. So watching his peers give him that respect, you go, that's different. Again, he doesn't have the personality where he's yelling and screaming, I need the ball, I need this. He just played. So him being so humble and silent, but still getting that respect from his teammates right away, you kind of, as a coach, you go, that's something different.
Okay. I kind of want to change gears a little bit, talk a little more about your college recruitment process in Michigan State. But going back to kind of like you stepping into your own as a player, what did it take to, not only become one of the top players in Virginia, but one of the top players in the country?
Yeah, I think it just took time, honestly, just like developing my skills and just growing into my body. a little bit more. And I think just like the drive was definitely always there, but just like I think just honestly just growing up.
You think playing with Virginia Elite and on the Under Armour circuit, do you think that's what really made you stand out a little more, or like what did it specifically take, for you to realize like I can play Division I basketball?
Yeah, that was definitely a part of it. I think playing on the Under Armour circuit and playing against like the top people in the country, like 5-star recruits that you always see. I think just like, and going to camps also, like in the summer, playing against those same guys and me being able to hang with them and like outwork them in certain things. I think that was definitely when I realized.
Okay. And what was your recruitment process like? I know, honestly, when I was looking at the offers that you got, very impressive, but what would you say how was your overall recruitment process?
I think I handled it pretty well. I'm pretty sure I got my first offer before my freshman year ended at South Lakes, and then just after that, just like the summers, AAU games, coaches were always in the stands watching, phone numbers, and then once like I forgot what it's called, like the period when they're allowed to call the recruits, that just blew up everything. And then my parents helped me through all the processes because my sister also went through it, and so did both my parents, so they definitely like helped guide me through the process too.
Yeah, I'm sure that helped big time. But I want to read off some of your offers that you got. So obviously Michigan State, Maryland, Virginia Tech, Florida State, Washington, California, Miami, correct? Georgia Tech, Penn State, Pitt. Like, honestly, I could go on and on. But what did it mean? Like you said, your first offer your freshman year, but then as they started to roll in, did you have any idea of maybe where you wanted to go?
Not really. Like growing up, I didn't have like a college team that I always rooted for. I never had like a dream school. I really wasn't playing to like get an offer. Like that wasn't like the main goal in my mind. I just wanted to play just to play.
Okay.
And the offers just came.
And then when you kind of got to like your final 2 or your final 3, what made Michigan State, what set them apart from everyone else?
I think it's just the culture. And also they have Tom Izzo at the head too.
Very true.
Not every school has a Tom Izzo. So just when I took it down to my final 3, after one of my 3 official visits, MSU was last. After I got back from there, I 100% knew.
And I'm sure it didn't hurt that they had a pretty good season this past year. Coach, what was it like for you to see him kind of go through this entire process?
Again, it was just amazing because, we've had other players come through South Lakes, I don't know how many, almost 2 decades here, who've gone Division I, have played at the next level. And maybe they had a single school that was like, oh, wow. This guy had a bunch of schools you go, oh, wow. And, we kind of touched on it before. He never seemed to be fazed by it. He never showed any kind of I'm better than you attitude towards other kids in the program, or when I saw him in the school. He never seemed, oh my gosh, such and such is here to watch me play. What if I mess up? He handled it very mature. And like he said, Dad played Division I ball. Mom played Division I ball. Brother played Division II ball. Sister plays at Georgetown. So he has seen...
Testament to your family then.
Yeah, I mean, he has seen all the things that go on behind the scenes, the calls, the letters, and how that process...
Oh, and to add one more thing, my mom also coached.
Okay, so
I mean, Jordan was built for whatever this process was going to look like. So I was always impressed, but everything he's ever accomplished on and off the court, where other people are so amazed by it, spoiledly that I am with him, I probably take it for granted how mature he is with all the things that he accomplishes.
And Jordan, what are you looking forward to the most? I know you said you're honestly in a few weeks you'll be headed up to Michigan, but what are you looking forward to the most when you get there?
I'm looking forward just to be able to play with them. Honestly, like step on a college court and be able to play with college level athletes. That's definitely what I'm looking forward to the most. And what is Michigan State getting in a player like you on and off the court? They're getting a competitor on and off the court, whether we're like playing ping pong at like an arcade or something, or we're in a win or go home game in the March Madness or anything. I'm going to be giving 100%. Okay, and I'm sure it'll be nice to have someone from Virginia like Cam, who you can maybe relate to a little bit more than everybody else. But what's your interaction been like with the team already? Like the coaches, I guess, what's that been like? Yeah, so we've definitely been in contact, and like everybody, like the staff, like the equipment manager, the academic advisor, everybody's all been in touch because I leave up there in 2 weeks from today, actually, from when we're recording. But yeah, they've all just been pretty involved. Some of the players who I've reached out to, just like the move-in process, everything like that. Like, how was their time as a freshman, everything like that.
And how have they been? Have they given you some good advice? Or?
Yeah, they've been giving me some good advice. Yeah.
Okay. Because you never know, with older guys and incoming freshmen, you know, you never know. But glad to hear that. Okay, now we're gonna transition into our rapid fire Q&A segment. Make it snappy. So first, I'm gonna ask Jordan a few questions. Then I'm gonna ask Mike, and then I have some questions for both of you. So name the first thing that comes to your head. All right, ready? Favorite NBA player?
Steph Curry.
Oh, that was quick. Best Michigan State player of all time?
Draymond Green.
Interesting. Who's a current player, NBA or college, that you like to watch or model your game after?
I like to watch Steph Curry.
Okay.
I don't think I model my game after like a lot of people though.
Okay. Which Big Ten team are you most looking forward to playing against?
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay. The DMV, not Michigan.
Not Maryland.
Okay. Coach, is there anyone whose coaching style you look up to, whether it's like college, NBA, maybe like a coach you've always admired?
No, I'm pretty unique.
I love that answer. All right, this is for both of you. Best player to come out of Virginia?
Oh, wow. Allen Iverson, maybe? Mm-hmm. I mean, the easy answer would be Grant, but maybe Allen Iverson, David Robinson, Grant Hill, but in no particular order.
How about you?
I was about to say Allen Iverson.
Okay.
I went to his camp a few weeks ago, so.
Okay, very cool.
Right
Ask
now.
me in 10 years, I'll say Jordan Scott.
Love it. Greatest basketball player of all time?
Candace Parker.
Love that answer. How about you?
Michael Jordan, it's not even close.
Okay. Honestly, I might say LeBron, but all right. So I know the Knicks just won last night, and we know OKC is going to be in the finals. Who do you guys think is winning the NBA finals this year?
I want the Knicks to win.
Me too.
That's who I'm rooting for.
How about you?
I don't watch the NBA because it's a terrible product of people jacking threes and crying about fouls. Sorry.
I can't believe you.
We'll just say he wants the Knicks to win.
All right. We'll just go with the Knicks.
We'll go with the Knicks.
I'm from Connecticut, so my dad grew up in the Bronx, so I have to root for the Knicks. All right. One last question. Not make it snappy, just to kind of wrap things up. Looking back over the past 2 years, what are your favorite memories from? I'm sure you'll probably say winning back-to-back, but other than that.
I think just like bonding with my team over the years, and just like, because when I was a freshman on varsity, those seniors left, and then I was a sophomore, those seniors left. So it's like a weird connection, just like knowing those people back then. Like some people on the team don't even know who those people are, and just like building different bonds with those people over the years.
How about you, Mike?
The championships would be the easy one, but I think we did a really good job at South Lake establishing a culture of ownership. And you watch a team, not just the last couple of years, any of the teams that I've been fortunate enough to coach, that we have a saying, do your job, something else. And when they do those things, the team goes from my team to their team. And there's a moment in every season that happens, that as a coach you kind of feel proud of your guys. They've all grown up all of a sudden, and it is 100% their team. So I would say each season, that to me is what's special. Very cool.
Well, thank you guys for joining me today. Will be watching you at Michigan State. I'm very excited for you, and Coach, I guess we'll see what happens next season. Trust me.
2 seasons. Let's be easy about next season.
Hey, you never know. Maybe
True.
somebody will step up from this season. But thank you guys both for joining me. Thank you guys for tuning in to the chat. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.